If there was way up in the back, Tiffany can get up there.
Thank you. To kind of dovetail that last question, we are in the age of bandwidth caps with BitTorrent and all that. How do you get around, say, 150 gig a month cap on Comcast?
So I haven't seen that number. I've seen 250 gig, but maybe there is 150 gig a month. So let's talk about the amount of bandwidth that we actually use. First of all, from an ISP's point of view, and believe me, we've spoken to most of the major ones to tell them about what we're doing. And from an ISP's point of view, we're actually a pretty good citizen. We've got a very high-speed connection downstream and extremely low-speed connection upstream. And a lot of the issues they've been running into with congestion has been for peer-to-peer systems who have a lot of bandwidth upstream and about as much bandwidth as you get downstream. So the amount of bandwidth we're using, it's not a download where it's trying to get a giant, maximize what we can get out of the pipe all the time. When I say that a 5 megabit connection is needed for HDTV, and we're kind of counting on it probably having a 4 megabit speed, really, that's the peak we need. Most of the time, you're well below that. I mean, for a lot of what you're looking at, you're running in the hundreds of kbits per second. And it's hard to say exactly what the average is. It depends on what you're doing. But it's probably somewhere around 2 megabits per second for HDTV. Well, Nielsen says that the average gamer spends about 60 hours a month. You go figure out 60 hours times 2 megabits per second, and you're well underneath that bandwidth cap that you were just talking about. So we don't think that we're going to run into that, at least the numbers that we've seen so far. If there is an issue, my guess is they'll probably offer, because as I said, we are a pretty good citizen from their point of view, and we probably are something that motivates somebody to upgrade to a higher speed connection. I'm sure that some sort of reasonable thing can be worked out, but it hasn't come up so far. All right.